Mike, I told you, we're going to have walls. Oh, that's cool. And roads. Dude, this looks sick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my 3 months late look at CitizenCon, where we're reviewing all the cool stuff that happened at CitizenCon 3 months ago. Obviously, I missed it for reasons I talked about in my last video. And this one is one that I'm really excited about. It is base building. It's called Crafting Your Home. I've got it here as like, this is the future of Star Citizen. Got high hopes for this. Like I say, I've not watched this. I don't know anything about the panel, but I've got a lot of hope for this to be good. The other thing I'll say, I just finished watching the Squadron 42 gameplay hour and 15-minute masterpiece. I was totally shocked at how good that was. Go watch that if you haven't already. See my initial reactions. It was bloody good. Go. That's better.
We're creating for you. We shared new tech, locations, creatures, giant worm, social features, things we're doing with orgs.
Spoilers!
We even played the first chapter of Squadron 42 live. How great was that? Yeah?
He definitely had the face there of like, yeah, and there was a crash, but never mind. Spoiler.
Few minor glitches, but nothing we can't sort out.
Yep.
So today, we got something just as exciting to talk about. But instead of focusing on what we're creating for you, we want to show you the world that you can build. With crafting, we're going to give you the tools to create your own loot, to build your own home. Crafting will fundamentally change not only how you play the game, but why you play the game.
Yes, this is a big thing for me.
So, what is crafting?
Why
does it matter? Why should you be as excited as I am about this?
I'm excited about it.
Well, first off, crafting is a profession. It requires its own set of tools, the knowledge of how to use them. Crafting offers progression.
Yeah.
You become a better crafter by learning new blueprints and upgrading them.
I think progression
Crafting
is like a
builds on the
big
existing
thing.
gathering
This
profession.
is visual.
When you would go out and you collect your materials for crafting, we are adding new depth and meaning to those activities. Crafting provides customization. There isn't just one way to craft something. Like I said, we have upgrades. How you make and upgrade the things you craft is sometimes just as important as what you're crafting. In addition, you can earn cosmetic upgrades, craft unique items, even subscriber flair. But nowhere is this versatility more obvious than base building. We're going to have nearly limitless options for how you construct your home, how to customize your base to meet your own goals. Most importantly, crafting gives you a lot of new choices. The choices will impact your goals in the game, your interactions with other players, and eventually how you see the game itself.
Okay.
So where do we get started with crafting?
Let's get started.
Well, you can't craft without materials.
Yeah.
Luckily, we've got a lot of ways to gather resources in the game. And crafting is designed to complement and expand on all of these existing gathering professions, as well as future additions.
Future?
Let's take a closer look at mining as an example. We've got hand mining and vehicle mining and ship mining. That's a lot of mining. But with crafting, we're going to introduce a lot of materials. So there's not just more to mine, but we're also going to specialize. So for instance, each type of mining will have its own unique materials to gather. Gathering specific materials efficiently will require you to use the right gathering profession. Let's talk about refining. Currently, only mining resources can be refined, but doing so allows you to turn them into more valuable processed resources.
Okay.
With crafting, we're going to expand refining to include options for all raw materials.
I can refine the
In addition
tongue.
to expanding the variety of materials you can gather, refining lets you create processed materials that you're going to need to craft your upgraded blueprints.
Right. Cool. Got it.
So now that you've gathered all these materials, what do you do with them? Currently, your only options in the game really are to sell them to a shop or maybe complete a contract. Adding crafting into the game radically changes your options. You can still mine, refine, and sell your resources, but now you have the option to make valuable and unique items, weapons, armor, even vehicles and ships. Right?
prospector takes
And by
10
valuable,
tongues.
I mean that the crafted gear that you create has the potential to be better than anything you can buy in a shop. But crafting just doesn't end with shiny new gear. Think much bigger. Crafting enables you to build your own home among the stars.
That's why I'm here. The loot and stuff is cool, but I want to build a base. I want to hear about
Choose to
base
make
building.
a farm, a hunting lodge, an industrial complex, your own trading hub, a military outpost, even a sprawling town with your friends and org mates.
Sprawling town. That's
Got a lot here,
a lot.
but it's all optional. You can choose to focus on gathering resources and sell them to crafters that need them. You can skip gathering and refining and just focus on being the best crafter you can be. Or you can leave all that gathering and crafting nonsense to other people and just focus on trade and make some money. But that brings me to my last point. Player choice matters. When a player makes a choice, they assign value. Players' choices about crafting and base building will drive player trade. The community's choices will determine the value of the materials and the crafted goods you can all make. The game will still have its own shops and economy alongside players.
But you don't need
Now
it.
you'll have more options about where you invest and how you prosper.
Okay.
Now, I've given you a nice overview of what we're working on here. And we have a lot more planned for the future. But now that you're familiar with the big picture, I want to introduce some of my fellow developers to come up on stage. They've got exciting details to share with you about the specifics of our new crafting systems, important gameplay improvements, and most exciting, I think anyway, an update to base building.
That's what I want to hear about, mostly. That's what I'm here for.
To start things off, please welcome Jacob Taylor to the stage.
Jacob! It's kind of
Thank
crazy
you, Rick.
these guys are
And
going
hello,
up on stage,
Citizen
I have to
Con.
say.
Hi, I'm Jacob, Senior Gameplay Programmer on crafting. Rick has showed us how crafting will link into a lot of existing and new gameplay, but I think it's time we get into some of the details. I'm going to tell you about the new game mechanics we're introducing,
Okay.
starting with blueprints.
So I can make my own guns, where I only ever make one
Before you can
clip.
craft anything, you'll need a blueprint. Blueprints provide the recipe to perform all kinds of crafting processes, including refining. You can acquire blueprints through various activities. Some you can buy, some you can find, and some can be unlocked or earned in other ways. You can also upgrade your blueprints through research. We'll go into more detail about what this means a bit later.
Okay.
So, blueprints are the recipe, and Rick already told us the materials you gather and refine will be the ingredients. But there's a bit more to it than that. We have a new concept for materials, material quality.
Wait, what?
Quality is a property we're adding to all resources you can gather. That's an abstract measurement of how good it is at being whatever it is. You can think of this as the
No.
purity of a metal, or the
No.
ripeness of a fruit.
I
or
already
something
spent
along
ages
those
looking
lines.
for Quantanium. Now I'm going to have to look
This
for good
quality will be
Quantanium?
carried forward from raw resources through the refining process to influence what that batch of materials is best used for in crafting.
I mean, I'm not disappointed, but
High
still.
quality is more desirable overall, but is more rare, and there are still important uses for low-quality materials. More on
Good.
that later.
Good.
All raw materials you find in the verse will have a quality rating that's generated based on some rules.
1,000
Same
quality
kind of
tongue.
rules you heard about from the Planet Tech team yesterday. You'll find the same material in many places, but with varying qualities, so you might want to explore to find the best. Some materials that are already rare will be even more valuable if you can find them with high quality.
It's the good Quantanium.
But what's quality for?
The blueprints.
It's for item stats.
Oh, man.
Alongside quality, we're introducing a new item stat system to the game.
Wait, what? Oh, look at that. That looks cool, actually.
This will allow relevant properties of craftable items to be affected by the quality of materials used to craft them. For resources, just a single quality rating is sufficient to provide variation, but craftable items have such diverse purposes that we need a more detailed system to provide both progression and customization options.
Is there a paint
We aim to have
icon there on the
meaningful item
left?
stats for all craftable items, but some examples would be the damage and fire rate of a gun, the wear resistance of a ship component, or even the satiation provided by eating a hot dog.
High quality mustard.
So, as I said,
I'm sold.
the quality of materials will directly affect the item stats.
This UI looks
such
good,
that higher
by the way.
quality results in better stats. Most items require multiple different materials to make, which may each influence different stats. And in many cases, you'll have a choice of materials to use, which lets you decide which stats to focus on to tailor your items to your playstyle. Here we see I'm making a gun with high-quality aluminium, giving me a nice bonus to integrity and weight. But someone sold me low-quality copper, so I don't get as much fire rate bonus as I could have. To go even further, researching your fabrication blueprints allows you to build higher tiers of an item with improved base stats. So a higher tier item will be better than a lower tier item that was made with materials of the same quality. Making high tier items requires more advanced materials, but is also how you access greater choice as to which stats to improve. This means that your high-tier items can not only be better overall, but also more specialized in the areas that are important to you.
This is just like so much stuff.
Most items will have tiers 1 to 3, with tier 1 being the most basic version of the item, and tier 3 being a highly advanced version made with appropriately impressive materials. But you can also craft vehicles.
What? What?
And vehicles are so important that they will go up to tier 5, providing a way for you to really invest in making your favorite vehicles excel. Of course, many of you have already bought your favorite vehicles, so you don't really need to make them from scratch, right?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Or maybe you've pirated, salvaged, or otherwise commandeered a vehicle. Not to worry. You can still benefit from crafting by using an upgrade blueprint to increase the tier of an existing vehicle, including...
I'm breaking my no pause rule, so you're telling me all the ships that I've bought are just tier 1? Is that what's happening right now? Chat.
Including the usual stat improvements and customization. Upgrading a vehicle can save a lot of time over crafting it from scratch, so it's a convenient way for established vehicle owners to bring the benefits of item stats to their...
Okay, I'm saying this right now. If okay, next year when this comes out or whatever, there's tier upgrades on the CIG store, we've all been duped. This upgrade thing has to stay in-game. Because that would be so mean to, like, everyone's bought their ships that they want, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you could upgrade it to a tier 5 now if you wanted. You know? Surely not. Surely not. The crafting in-game, fine. To tier 5. But if it's you can buy on the store to tier 5, no.
Fleet. Let's take a look in-game at the difference it makes to have high-tier equipment made from high-quality materials.
Oh, this is interesting.
See how the recoil is reduced on our high-tier gun.
It's yours for $2.99.
The spooling is faster on a high-tier quantum drive. And a high-tier scraper beam is much more effective.
Wow, people really love the salvage, huh?
So, that's an overview of crafting's key game mechanics. I'll now hand over to Torsten to walk you through the full crafting process. Thank you, and have a good day.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, if it's in-game, totally awesome. Gives people a reason to play after they've bought a ship.
Thank you, Jacob. Hi, I'm Torsten, lead system designer of the
Torsten.
CGP system design team.
Woo woo! Oh, the crowd. They're
We now
great.
saw all elements of crafting looked at individually. Let's bring them in order how you, as the player, will experience the crafting profession.
I'm surprised they
You will
haven't
start
said
with
either way
acquiring the
about it
correct
being in
blueprints
store or not.
as the first step in the crafting process. As Jacob already mentioned, blueprints can be acquired in multiple ways. Let me give you some examples here. You can purchase commonly available blueprints, earn them from reputation and mission rewards, or even find them in loot crates. All content in our game could reward you with a blueprint. Some blueprints will be challenging to find, so players
Yeah, I agree with
working
that.
together may find them easier to acquire. While you may find a blueprint on a datapad or other portable device, the blueprint itself is not a physical item.
Okay.
You don't collect them in a box or stack them on a bookshelf. Blueprints are digital. Once you claim one, it is permanently added to your personal library.
Cool.
This library is persistent to your character, and every blueprint you claim is yours forever.
So chat, just to clarify for me, so they've never said one way or another whether it's going to be in the store. I feel like if it wasn't ever going to be in the store, they would have said that, so that's a little bit worrying.
They cannot be stolen or traded once claimed. But it does not just end with acquiring blueprints. Those tiers of quality that Jacob mentioned are unlocked through blueprint research. Research requires a research data bank which can upgrade your blueprints. Upgrading here means that you unlock a blueprint that allows you to create a better, higher tier version of the same item using more advanced materials. Note, you will still have access to the lower tier versions if you want to craft the cheaper version. In order to upgrade a blueprint, you may need to perform certain actions. In this example, we need to craft 100-volt pistols and have one with a higher fire rate. Other examples would be collect resources, complete missions,
I'm
or
sorry.
acquire
What
research
am I
data
doing?
from the science
What am I
guild.
doing with 100-volt pistols?
Research is time-intensive, in addition to the action requirements. It will take time for the research data bank to process your
4
research
days?
data and unlock the upgrade. You are also limited in how many research projects you can pursue at once. Now that you have your blueprint and you decided what to craft, you also know what resources to look for. Every blueprint you find will have unique requirements in their resource needs. It will not just be you need iron. We want to make use of the professions we have to meaningfully involve them in the crafting process. Especially for the more advanced blueprints, you can expect that it will require materials from multiple sources. And, as already mentioned by Jacob, pay attention to the quality. If you
I'm
want to
really
have the
excited about
perfect-
this because it gives you a reason to go out and do expeditions and things. This is like, I'm really excited for this. This is cool.
perfect item, you also need the best quality. Here, the best way to find the best resources is to get out and explore the world.
Yeah, it gives you a reason
If you
to
want
explore.
to find the best hidden materials, then you get yourself a top quality radar. Once you collected the raw materials, the next step is refining them. Refining, like crafting, requires blueprints. Refining blueprints take primary, secondary, and catalyst materials and produce refined materials. The rule is very simple. The quality of the primary raw material defines the quality of the refined material. The secondary material you put in has an impact on the quantity and the time the refining process will take.
Okay.
An optional catalyst can speed up the process further.
Okay.
Let me give you a simple example. If you want high-quality steel, you need to put in the best iron you have in the primary slot. You can put any quality coal in the secondary slot without affecting the quality of the steel. But the quality of the coal will influence how much of it you need to
Molten
produce
flux.
steel. As an example, if you put in low-quality coal, you might require 4 SCU of coal versus high-quality coal that only requires 2 SCU.
This is going to take 2 hours.
This is one of the important use cases for low-quality materials that Jacob mentioned.
Just to make some steel.
You can use refining stations in the world as they will be converted to this new process. You can build your own refineries for yourself. You can get your org to help you out. Or you can simply trade for the materials that you need on the open market.
Yeah, you can just buy them, right?
Now, we are reaching the final step.
Crafting.
You got the blueprints, you gathered resources, and refined materials. Now you can create the item you want. And this item can be anything. You will be able to craft anything from FPS equipment to vehicle components, even entire vehicles and buildings. You just need access to the relevant crafting machine.
This is so much more in depth than I was expecting.
Talking about crafting machines. We will have a variety for you that differ in what process they can support, like a refinery or a dedicated vehicle crafting machine. We will also find them in various places. There will be communal ones like the station refineries you already know.
That's cool.
Player-owned that can be in your personal hangar, a vehicle, or your base. As all that we have talked about just now, these crafting machines also come in tiers. Here, the tiers will affect how well those machines do their job. You will not only progress in the products you produce, but also in the infrastructure to produce your wares. Just to give you an idea what you will encounter, here are some examples of the crafting machines. There is the nutrition fabricator, the chemical fabricator, an item fabricator,
There's a hanger.
and even fabricators of a much larger scale we will talk about later. Talking about scale, I would like to talk about the future of crafting and the scale it will have in the game.
Thanks for that clarification.
And how it will change the game moving forward. As you all know, we have a lot of items in the game, and they all require their own unique blueprints.
Yeah, this is so much work for CIG.
Our
1,000
aim is to have more
blueprints.
than 1,000 blueprints that include the creation and the refining blueprints.
What?
And each of those can be researched to unlock tier upgrades up to tier 3 or tier 5. That's a lot of blueprints. And it will surely take a lot of time to unlock everything. So I, personally, recommend that you, as the crafter you are, focus on a specific field first and extend your knowledge from there. Collaborate and coordinate with your friends and fellow players. If you're part of a group, we invite you to share responsibilities with your org mates. Maybe you will be the FPS crafter while your friend is a ship crafter, but they know a ship component crafter specialist. There's a lot of content, and it will continue to grow over time.
Quality elevators.
You are free to be a generalist crafter, a specialist, or something in between.
Burn.
Pick the blueprints you care about and be the best.
You don't pick them.
Have
you
an
just,
exotic
you
shield
find them.
generator that no one else has the blueprint for but you. Help others and earn credits while doing so.
That's quite cool, though.
It is a real profession in the game that will benefit from your dedication and attention. As you can tell, crafting will have a huge impact on everything in the game.
Yeah, I think it's massive.
Even if you do not want to get actively involved, at some point you will stumble over a weapon that got crafted by someone else and you will be using it. People will start selling their crafting goods or the refined materials or even the raw materials.
But they need to
for
sort out
sole
the trading
purpose of
thing.
fulfilling the demand created by crafting.
Like the market system.
Players like you can become well-known specialists that are sought out to get certain things crafted from. With the ever-expanding game we all love, we will continuously expand our crafting to offer you long-term progression that involves the entirety of our game. And you might have guessed it already, but there's one more thing that crafting is the foundation of, and that is base building.
Let's go!
I will now hand over to Luke. Enjoy the second part of this presentation. Thank you very much.
Good segment.
Well done. Good morning, citizens.
I put...
Who is excited to start talking about this next topic?
You know, we all are.
Let's get into it. My name is Luc Gijsbertse. I'm the lead environment artist on base building structures. Now that we have an understanding of the fundamentals of crafting, thanks to Jacob and Thorsten, we can explore how crafting is the foundation of base building.
Let's go.
Up until now, everything in the game we made for you. From here on, we will give you the tools to build your own stories, your own homes, and truly make the universe yours. Join me on a journey
They're on Pyro 4
on
right
building
now.
our own habitable home on Pyro.
This is Pyro 4.
Keep in mind that the following footage is work in progress, including its UI, design, and visuals. And we're super excited to share this
Well,
with
we're
you.
going to get to actually see it. Oh, this is sick. Oh, it's a mess.
We found a beautiful location by a lake.
It's boxes
This
everywhere.
is where we'll build ourselves a home. To do so, we need some resources and the construction graph card. The construction graph card allows us to survey the land, claim the land in a lawful system, and it allows us to build structures. As we've already found the location and don't need to claim land in lawless Pyro, we can straight dive into building our base.
Dude.
Keep in mind, the following UI is work in progress.
Woo.
A survey drone that deploys from the top of the card gives us a controllable augmented view of the land. In the new structure mode, we'll pick a small basic structure and hit construct. For this demo, the construction will be instantaneous, but in the final product, this will take you quite some time. We've done it. We've built our first...
Sorry, I broke my rule again. What does it say? Freight elevator, solid matter, hanger, liquid extractor, water pump. Oh, this is, honestly, this is so cool.
We've done it. We've built our first structure. Let's have a look on the inside. As we walk into the small basic structure, we see an empty interior that is dimly lit. It's up to us to define what we will use this space for. In our case, we will want to make
For me, it will be filled with hot dogs.
it into a home. We can see that the lights are still off, and that is a problem, because no lights means no atmosphere, no breathable atmosphere. So it's not ideal to live in. So how do we solve this issue? We can improve this by providing the building with power. Let's see if we can build something that helps us out. But before we dive into more building, let's take a quick moment to enjoy the freedom that the survey drone provides us with and admire the aesthetics of our first structure.
Oh,
And I wonder what Declan was up doing there. Keep in mind that base building is still work in progress, but what you're seeing right now has been recorded directly in the client and works seamlessly between first person and the building mode. Okay, enough.
please
Back to
tell me
base
we get to
building.
see.
In the list of new structures, we see a small fuel generator. That is something that could solve our problem, I think. Power providing structures need to be hooked up
I
to
wanna
other
do this
buildings
so
inside
much.
construction ER mode, but we'll explain this later. The fuel generator is one of several structures that provides power, each with their own benefit and drawbacks. Fuel power is quick and easy to build, but it requires a constant supply of fuel besides its regular maintenance. If a structure is not maintained, it will halt its activity. Players will need to maintain fuses to keep the building operational. The better crafted fuse,
Not
the longer it
fuses.
lasts. This is where the fuse goes on this building.
So literally,
Next up,
we're all going to
we
be
have a terminal that
grabbing
gives us
fuses.
access to the status of our building. And, more importantly, we get to activate it here.
Cool. Awesome.
That should do it. Let's see if we got power in the building now. As you notice, some of the crates in the background have disappeared, as their content has been consumed during the construction process of the buildings.
So it must work in like a generic area, like a general
And
vicinity.
it looks like Declan is now hooking up the power to the building.
But obviously, we're not
I
going to
wonder
see how
what he
that
was up to
works.
earlier, though.
I want to see how that works. No.
Wow, Declan has been busy decorating the place. As we can see, the lights are now properly working. We got atmosphere, and we can start to use the item fabricator now that there is power. Always handy in case we need a fuse. Let's have a quick look at what we've done so far. We've decorated the place. We made it our own little home.
This is cool, man.
We hooked it up with power. I would say we have a place that we can live in.
I have so many questions though. What is this the same on
might
every
not be
server?
much.
How does it work?
But I think it's just enough to call it a home. Thank you.
Later this year? Oh god, I hope so.
Now that we have a rough understanding of how base building works, let's dive into some of the specifics of what we just saw. The construction graph card is one of 4 devices used for base building.
There are tree stumps
The
there.
graph card is a mobile device that lets you construct a variety of small structures
Did someone chop
and
some
has been
trees down?
designed specifically to fit into the smallest ships, like the Drake cutter. The graph card allows us to survey the land, to find a good location, to claim the land with credits when we're all in a lawful system, like Stanton, and, most importantly, it lets us build structures. To use the graph card, we will first need to deploy it. Once deployed, we see 2 small construction zones inside the card, and the interactive screen gets revealed to us. From here, we can deploy the survey drone from the extended top part of the card. This survey drone gives us a bird's eye view of the surrounding area using augmented reality mode, ER mode for short. Let's have a look at some UI concepts of how this augmented reality mode will look like. Here's a concept of construction ER. From here, we get a more detailed view of the land. Where can and can't I settle? For an example, inside a nature reserve, construction will be prohibited.
A nature reserve?
Are nearby areas flat enough to place my structures on? Are there any underground extraction deposits nearby? And if so, what are their quality and quantity? Let's say we found a good place to start building our base. Then next up, we need to find a good place for our first structure. On the left-hand side, we can see that we're now in structure creation mode.
Well, this is different to what we just saw. I'm
Underneath that,
confused.
there is a list of structures that we can build.
What we had before was fine.
Once you have chosen a structure, you'll drag it onto the terrain, that will be shown then as a physicalized hologram.
I don't need click and drag. Just let me click and
From here,
click.
you can move and rotate to find the perfect position for your structure. Now that we have chosen a position for our structure, we will need to supply it with crafting materials. Just like the crafting interface that we saw earlier, this is where you choose the materials, and the better materials you choose will result in a better structure.
Oh yeah, look, integrity.
Once you're ready, we'll hit the craft button on the right bottom to send the construction drones printing to the buildings. The automated construction drones will take off from the construction graph card and fly to nearby resources to fill their internal storage and then fly over to the construction site to print the building until their internal storage has been depleted. The construction drone then repeats the loop by filling its internal storage again by nearby resources. Printing buildings will take some time. Keep the construction supplied so that you don't delay the process any further. Let's say our building did just finish printing, then what? Then we need power. We need to power the building. All structures will have an unpowered and a powered state that we can manage inside the resource manager. To provide structures with power, we can easily link generators to structures that need power in the resource management menu within Construction ER. We can also link multiple buildings together.
Cool.
And we can assess the power consumption and shortage of, inside this resource management screen.
I'm kind of sad we're not going to have like
Keep in mind that operational
electric
structures,
poles, but
like power generators, require maintenance of their fuses and sometimes need supplies coming in and going out to be managed. Now that we have a structure and power,
This looks
what can we
awesome.
do next? Then we can actually upgrade our structure. Structures can be upgraded from tier 1 till tier 3. The better material you provide, the better the improvement will be.
interesting. It says very hard here for hacking level, so someone could hack in.
Just like Jacob and Thorsten explained in the crafting presentation. Tier upgrades can, for an example, improve the structural integrity of the building or make its resource consumption more efficient. To really make your base feel like home, you will want to decorate your base with a wide variety of furniture pieces that can be bought, crafted, and found.
Oh, there's a bed there. Please tell me I can log out.
It's up to you to define what you want this space to be. Do you want to decorate it as a hospital? Do you want to make it into a workshop? Do you want to make it into a luxurious bedroom? It's up to you. Furniture can easily be placed and moved using decorative ER mode as a hologram.
Maglog. Yes.
This is so your furniture can easily fit through doors. This feature is accessible through nearby construction devices, allowing you to place down furniture pieces or even crafting machines that otherwise wouldn't fit through the door. And you get to place them directly from your local inventory. The less trusted
build a
among
big
you,
enough door.
or anyone settling in Pyro for that matter, may want to maglock their furniture into place so that only you and your friends get to rearrange your decorations.
Oh yeah, we need that in
And
hangars.
best of all, decorative ER is not exclusive to base building and can also be used for personal hangars and ships.
Good.
To recap, what are the essentials for any base? 1, come prepared, bring the right resources and a construction device with you. 2, use the resource manager, power generators to make your base habitable and functional. And maintain your base with resources and by replacing out worn fuses. And 3, personalize your base, personal hangar and ship with decorative ER. And there we have it. our home in Paro. Now that we have an understanding of the basics of base building, we'll explore how you can go and make more than just a home. But before I hand you over to Declan, the designer behind base building, I'd like to say a quick thank you for those who made this presentation possible. So a quick thank you to Eddie, Brandon, Jack, Dan, Mark, Xiao, Stefan C, Dom, Stefan T, Carl, Joel, and Rob for your efforts and dedication. Now give me a warm welcome for Declan.
Declan.
Nice one, cheers.
Nice one, cheers.
Thank you, Luke. Good morning, everyone. Morning.
Hello.
My name is
Hello.
Dec. I am the system designer behind crafting and base building, and we've just seen a nice little base, right? That's good for cabin in the woods. Maybe you want to place it down next to big redwoods, go and explore, or a place to stash some loot you perhaps shouldn't have. But do you want to see a big base?
Hell yeah.
Good, because we're going to industrialize.
Okay,
So
I'm going to say this
ourselves-
now. I made a video like 6 months ago talking about this, and it had a watchtower. And I think Sully might. I don't think he uploaded it to YouTube, but he definitely reacted to it on Twitch. And he mocked me for the watchtower. He was laughing because he was like, "Why the watchtower? You don't need a watchtower." I really hope there is a watchtower. The reason why I say that is because this looks like a watchtower. So if there's a watchtower, I'm gonna be like, "That's great."
Goal before we do a video.
Also,
and
Mike,
we're going to
I
create
love
a
you.
base that's capable of crafting something that's
But it did
bigger
make me laugh.
than the item fabricator can handle. It's been a bit of a spoiler already as to what it's going to be. So to kick us off, called in the help of a friend who has a specialized, not yet revealed base building vehicle, and he's built us this. It is the construction hub. This has 4 automated drones compared to the ground
Basically, a
cars 2.
watchtower.
They can build small, medium, and
Yes.
large buildings. So far, we've only seen small. Automated drones are capable of building 1 structure each
Observation
simultaneously,
deck.
so 4 is quite a big advantage.
Oh, this is. Oh man. Okay. I need to find the replay from Mike where he watched this because I want to know if he mentioned it. Like the Citizen Con. This is awesome.
We'll pop into our construction AR and we'll get down a generator, we'll connect some buildings.
This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I put in that video. I need to link that video down in the description. Go watch that video. This is like basically I came up with this. This is I basically he did. Oh my god! I need to watch. I need to find that.
Buildings together, just so we have a place to call home before we begin.
That's amazing if he did. This is
All right,
cool.
There we go. So we've settled on one of the brand new underground resource deposits, and we're about to exploit it using this. It is our extractors. This particular one is a large solid extractor. We'll also have liquid and gas, depending on which type of
It's
deposit
huge.
that you've settled on. We have our output grid here, where we're getting all the brand new resources up out the ground.
Oh, that's cool. Physicalized.
And it is important to note that once these things are set up, it's not a case of just free resources forever. On key structures like this, there are fuses which will occasionally need replaced, as well as environmental wear which can be fixed using crafting materials.
Cool. Is that a base like hanging out over there? That's neat, man. I love this already. I wanted base building before. I think I want it even more now. Ooh.
All right, now Now, we want to turn those raw resources into more valuable refined materials. We saw the process talked about earlier with Thorsten. Of course, we want this. It is our refinery. Once again, there are multiple types here. This one is the large solid matter refinery. We have liquid and gas again, as well as biological, depending on the type of materials that you're using.
This is wild, man. This looks actually fairly...
input and output grids. For input, as you might expect, is for the
like, it looks fairly polished, no?
And then the output is for the resulting refined goods. This is determining where you'd select which
I was
blueprint
expecting
you want to
grey
use,
box.
and therefore which type of refining method you want.
This looks pretty fleshed out. Am I the only one that was expecting not this much detail?
A lot of crates here with our extractor and our refinery, so we're going to put down our elevator storage.
Wow.
This is really starting to build up now, but it's worth me mentioning again here that whilst we're putting these
It's a
buildings
new grey
down
box.
instantly in this video, large structures like this, they will take some time with the automated construction drones, but the smaller scale base we saw in the previous video, that can be done in a single play session.
Oh, it looks so good. I absolutely love the architecture of this building. Like the way it looks awesome. Ah, and the watchtower looks amazing.
We'll just keep on putting down more extractors because we want as much as that valuable resource out the ground as quick as possible. And with base building, we're introducing the concept of a freight elevator network. What this will allow you to do is it will allow you to link multiple freight elevators together, and in turn, they will share the same storage. So as we're doing here, we'll deposit an item on freight elevator A.
This is
and then
actually
we're retrieving
sick.
it on freight elevator B. There is a distance limit, but you can daisy chain the elevators together to extend that. And it has to all be contained within the same base.
Dude, this is actually beyond what I wanted. Ah, man. I did. This is
Now,
so.
as we expand, we might want to invite more people to join us. This is easy to do. There will be permissions that we can set up, granting people access to our base, and they can even build their own structures if they wish. We can also give them access to existing structures, which is how you can form your org storage using those freight elevators.
That's huge. This is so good.
Now, we always want a safe place to store our ships, so the trusty hangar will do.
Landing pads, let's go. Oh, man.
See, it has this large, we call it a foundation tile. It's quite special in that it can actually deform the terrain around it, making it easy to place such a huge structure like this. You can also place other buildings on it, so it's easy for making large, sprawling bases. However, there is one
A cement square?
terrain around it, making it easy. We call it a foundation tile. It's quite special in that it can actually deform the terrain around it, making
that's
it easy
genius.
to place such a huge structure like this. You can also place other buildings on it, so it's easy for
There was
making
definitely-
large, sprawling bases.
There was definitely
However,
a pad
there is
for
one
a ship to
final
land.
piece of the puzzle
I can
that we
see it
need
there.
to achieve our goal, and it is this, our very own fabrication hangar. Does anyone want to guess what we're going to build in a fabrication hangar? An Idris, maybe not an Idris, if I'm honest. I want to drive around, we'll go to the entrance and we'll see what's in store for us.
Way to go to temper expectations. Oh, this is awesome, man. This is. I can't wait to just do this gameplay, man. It's something to work towards, you know.
Looks like whatever it is, it's just about finished crafting.
That noise.
course,
cool, man.
we were going to build ourselves a ship.
It's like a massive 3D printer.
So, quick recaps of the gains from industrializing.
Just
We
you
tapped
wait.
into the
What do you mean by
brand new
just you wait,
resources,
man?
and we've made use of them by turning into the more valuable refined materials. We've introduced freight elevator networks, which are great for logistics and hauling. And then we've created our fabrication hangar, which allows us to craft big valuable items such as ships. Now, ships are valuable because you can, of course, you can fly them, you can play content with them, but because they are a crafted item, they can also be sold to other players. So, with base building, you're going to be able to set up your own shops, and there's two main ways you can do this. The first is using a dedicated trading terminal. You can link these to your freight elevators, and in turn, any items within can be listed for sale at a price you deem reasonable. This includes resources, refined materials, and so on.
Oh, shoot.
Using
really?
the terminal, visiting players can browse what's on offer, purchase, and then collect from that same freight elevator. The second method is to set up a physical shop in the world.
No
By using
way.
the decorator AR we saw earlier with Luke, you can maglock items and then list them for sale. Once again, browsing players, they can see the price of the maglocked item, purchase it, which then removes the maglock.
Oh, that's awesome. Dude. That's amazing.
Of course, the nice thing with physical shops is you can genuinely make it feel like a store. You can put items on shelving. You can even go as far as to make your own ship showroom. You can advertise your wares on a mobile pass for UEC. However, it is important to note that the point of purchase will always occur at the base itself. Now that we know how to set up shop, I just want to take a moment to talk about why it's so impactful for crafting and base building the game as a whole.
That is
Understandably,
so
throughout this
exciting.
presentation, we've been telling you why you want to craft all these things or why you want to build this big base. But maybe you don't have the time to build a big base and maintain it. Maybe you want to spend your time doing the missions, you want to do your beacons, that's how you want to make your credits instead. Shops mean that you can benefit from the players who do want to spend the time making those bases or crafting those specialist items, and then you can purchase them from them, which is very important because crafted items using high quality materials will be the most powerful in the game. On the flip side, if you do specialize, maybe you end up cornering the markets for a particular item or resource, and your shop will then turn into a hotspot of activity, making you loads of credits. Some of you will become infamous because of it. But bear in mind, a successful shop also depends on location. Do you want your customers on edge in Pyro, which tends to have the higher quality materials? Or do you want to spend time hauling them all the way over to safer systems where your customers can be more at peace? We've talked about selling items. Let's sell the look.
Sell the items to people and then kill them on the way out.
Divide up the
Put it back on sale.
foundation decals, sorry, which help you divide up the foundation tile. You can place them freely wherever you want.
There you go,
and they
foundation.
just help you mark up areas like, I want to use this place for cargo, I want this for housing, vehicles, and so on.
That's cool.
You'll be able to earn paints in-game and apply them to buildings.
Nice. I like the yellow, but that's cool.
As well as add your own custom text, so if you're part of an org, the blue buildings that have your name are definitely yours. We have some forms of base building which are either still in the design phase or early white box, but we want to share some details. First up, we have farming and ranching. Farming, it comes in two general types. We have our low-tech farming and then high-tech. Low-tech consists of you acquiring the seeds, planting them in the appropriate environment. If you remember back to yesterday, the Brave New Worlds, we had soil types and such now. That'll play a part. As well as supplying them with nutrients and then just harvesting them when they're grown. High-tech, it's a bit more involved because you've got to make the hydroponic buildings we see here, but
That's
in return, you'll
cool.
be able to grow exclusive strains of plants.
That's cool. I like this. Bob can do the whole thing.
Ranching will allow you to keep herds of animals. You'll have to provide them with feed, water, and shelter.
What?
But in return, they will provide you with produce. Not every animal can be ranched. I don't really see a sandworm ranch anytime soon, but the quasi-grazer will, of course, will. Not yet. Maybe.
Whoa.
No.
Look at this. Dude, this is awesome.
We have a few more additional archetypes. We have landing pads, garages, roads, fencing, as well as new variants of structures which we've seen today.
Mike, I told you, we're going to have walls. Oh, that's cool. And roads. Dude, this looks sick.
Since the power generator, there'll be solar power, fusion,
There's a
geothermal,
hospital.
as well as the XL structure class. If you remember, everything we've seen today, the biggest we've seen today, rather, is large. XL is larger than large.
Well, yes.
And then you have your defense.
The walls. Mike.
So, in lawful areas, you have varying levels of security provided for you. With max security, you are protected by planetary shield tech. However, in lawless, pyro and the likes, you'll have to provide your own defenses.
Cool.
These come in the form of perimeter walls, shielding, which prevents aerial bombardments, and then a range of automated turrets, such as PDC to shoot down missiles, anti-air, anti-vehicle, and anti-personnel.
Nice.
To round up, whilst we spent this entire time talking about how you can expand a single base, you can, of course, have multiple. These can be across a single planet, moons, across multiple systems. There are advantages and disadvantages of locations and base types. For example, in lawful areas, you'll need to buy your land for UEC, pay a tax to be able to build, and then you'll gain protection in return. In lawless, no cost. Higher chance of better quality materials, but no security to fall back on. A small cabin in the woods can be great to set up in a single play session with short build times. However, the large base we just saw will take days, weeks, or even months, depending on how big you want to go.
Awesome.
You might want to embark on this endeavor as a team or an org. You can set up a base as an org and own it as the org. For this, there'll be permissions available, and you can assign roles and tasks. Ultimately, base building can be your main gameplay loop or a supplementary one, depending on what it is.
You mean I can have my viewers do my work for me? Excellent.
On that final note, I would like to say thank you on behalf of the crafting and base building teams. We've been very excited to share with you some of the work so far and the vision we have for these systems. But before we go, we have one final video.
Ooh. Let's see it. Let's see the sweet, sweet trailer. Oh, nice. Someone forgot to turn the mic audio down. Oh, that looks good. The watchtower, man. I knew it. It's that javelin. This looks nuts. That was cool. Holy.
Thank you. I'd just like to say thank you especially to Kian and Zheng Shui. They worked very hard on this, and you might see that base again later today. So stick around. Thank you.
What? Ollieville. Yeah, we'll build Ollieville. Okay. I don't have time to like sit and rewatch this. I really want to, but this is the screenshot. Oh man. Like the watchtower. Yes. Oh, it's so cool, man. Oh man. All right. Well. Oh, it's wild. Actually wild. Freaking cool. I so happy with that. I want base building and I want it now. That looks awesome. Gosh darn it.